Okay, here we go. There we go. And that we're live. Let's give it just a couple of moments for folks to come on and chime in. Pull it up over here so I'll be able to.
So Uncle Matt, Uncle Matt.
Uncle Matt, welcome back on this magnificent enough first Sunday.
I want to start the session as we light the candle for Dwa R Hrw. Now ring the bell as we acknowledge our elder, Dwa R Hrw. Say Patha.
I will pull libation.
As we get ready to bring forth what we always do. It's called the opening of the way. Again, get into the pose of adoration. You put your left foot forward, your left hand slightly forward, and your right hand slightly back. And we begin with the word of life, which is Ankh. Begin. Take your deep breath. On the truck. Nuke in bed. On the truck, happy. Nuke, happy. Dwa and turn to your right. On the truck, circuit. Nuke, circuit. On the truck,
Kepsanoof.
Nuke, Kepsanoof.
Dwa and
turn to your right. On the truck, us. Nuke, us. On the truck, I'm set. Nuke, I'm set.
Dwa and
turn to your right. On the truck, neat. Nuke, neat. On the truck, Dwa Mutaf. Nuke, Dwa Mutaf. Dwa and turn to your right. On the truck, nuke. Nuke. On the truck, Gab. Nuke, Gab. Dwa and on the truck, shoe. Nuke, shoe. On the truck, Tefnu. Nuke, Tefnu.
Dwa and
On the truck, Paut. Interu. Nuke, Paut. Interu.
The truck and boo.
And the truck and boo. Interu. Nuke and boo.
Dwa and
One, two,
Do I.
one, two.
All right, all right. Well, let us get today's session started. Before we get into our Sebayit reading, we are going to do the usual. We've already given honor by lighting the candle for Baba Heru, Ankh Ra, Sepatra, Samaj Sepata. Dwa Baba Heru, Ankh Ra, Samaj Sepata, Ma'at Heru, opener of the way, bearer of Ma'at, custodian of the Ankh, Hatep Baba Heru, Hatep Ma'at. We offer our continued constituent of the opening of the way that he has brought to us in its current form. Now for flowers, as usual, of course, first and foremost, we want to give our flowers to Mbu, all of the Netaru, our ancestors, those that are distant, those that are close. Himneter and Tepi, Dejedin Ma'at Aten Ra, which is also Himneter, and Tepi Jabari. Of course, Himneter Waziri, who comes here and gives us his time and space every Sunday morning, his queen for allowing that to take place. So dua to Sanet Sarah, and all of you for showing up here every week and supporting and communing with us, fellowshipping. That being said, let's get started by setting the feather before we get into today's sacred reading from our beloved Himneter. So I call it again, the 4 breaths of life. The first one, we're going to take a deep breath to clear our minds. The second for the spirit. The third for the heart. And the fourth and final, when we breathe in Ma'at. And exhale Ifset. That being said, the 4 breaths of life have opened the way for our Himneter to bring us today's reading from our sacred text. We're going to be coming from a different books today. It's going to be from the Shabaka Stone, page 116. If you have it, please read along. If you don't, please purchase. Otherwise, listen to our Himneter bring us the Sebayit today.
We'll be coming from chapter 6. The second paragraph was starting out. And the chapter 6 says, Africans are the only people who have a 100% the human Homo sapiens sapiens DNA, while the European and Asian ethnic stock still have traces of Neanderthal Homo sapiens DNA in them. Neanderthal DNA affects how keratin filaments develop. As opposed to humans, Neanderthals have more keratin filaments than humans, making their skin tougher. This allowed Africans, Grimaldi, man and woman, to survive in the harsh, cold climate of the Worm Ice Age. Neanderthal skin genes are present in Europeans and Northeast Asians. The rest of the genes are not compatible. The human genes, and eventually this gene pool, will become extinct. Scientifically, the African woman is the only human being who possesses the mitochondrial DNA that has all the variations possible to produce every cultural group on Earth. When the DNA of an African woman mutates, all other types of human ethnic stocks and culture come into existence. This unique original gene is called the Eve gene and is only found in the African woman. DNA. Deoxyribonucleic acid DNA is the cell's hereditary material and contains each person's divine, unique instructions for development. for development, growth, and reproduction. DNA is passed from generation to generation in humans and many other organisms. The same DNA is located in every cell of the human body. DNA is mostly located within chromosomes in the nucleus, but some DNA is also found in the mitochondria. Chromosomes consist of DNA coiled around histones, alkaline proteins. In Shabaka stones, a tomb coils into being four pairs, such as DNA coils into being four amino acids, and they are paired purine and pyrimidine and the word made flesh. DNA is made up of the following four chemical nitrogen bases. The purines is the adenine, is the one. The second is the guanine. Then there's the pyrimidines. Number three, which is the cytosine, and number four is the thymine. The two pairs of chemical nitrogen bases are adenine, and number one, and number two is the cytosine. And I yield. Ashe.
Ashe to that for sure. Again, another one of those situations where the topic just comes in line with things that you what I've come across this week. I saw a debate on YouTube, or maybe not a debate. There was some Caucasian people, mainly a few women, who were online, and you can find this on YouTube. I don't know their names. They're nobody, they weren't any big names or anybody that's known in any type of community. It was a reaction that these people were getting from ChatGPT. And I know a lot of us Google and use ChatGPT, but evidently this ChatGPT has cross-referenced a lot of information. And once I saw that, I went to ChatGPT myself and I pulled this up. So it's funny that I have to share this because, let's see, where is it? Is Black the original race of people? Okay, just a basic question. Because people, these women were furious because of what you just read. Speaking of the African DNA as being 100% Homo sapien. And of course, we've got all these studies that's coming out to prove this or that. But it did come up to say, and they could not debunk it, because now you go into this AI and it doesn't have right now the ability to lie, as you can see. It says, from a scientific and anthropological standpoint, Africa is the birthplace of all humanity. Which we all know this, but just showing you how you can't just search for something now and it's going to tell you what you want to hear. It specifically breaks down what you just said, that Africans have 100% DNA of the Homo sapien. It specifically says that. And it says the first appeared in Homo sapiens roughly 200,000 to 300,000 years ago. But we can even attest to it to be longer than that, nearly a million years. The earliest humans had the darkest skin, just like you just read. You just read that. Their genetic and climate evidence shows that early humans living in the equatorial part of Africa had dark skin as a protection against the intense sun. Neanderthals don't have the capability of this protection. As for somewhere in time, their DNA had been watered down, yet there were still significant traces dating back to their heritage being of African descent. So these people were furious when they read this from Chat GPT. You know what I mean?
Very
You
much.
would, you know, and so by you reading that, it's just that when it's something that we read before where you said spirituality is unseen science and science is unseen spirituality. It all lines up because we can read from any but the evidence, the actual fact, not a belief system, but the actual fact
We have
of the matter. Exactly. You know what I mean? Exactly. So
right.
by you reading that, and this, I just actually was looking at this on Thursday, and I'm like, these women were going off. I did not come from an African woman, and it specifically said that mitochondrial DNA, like you just read.
Right. Let alone they want to deny that. But the fact is that that they are diminishing off this earth, being the majority, and they're slowly diminishing. That's one of the things that they can't deny, and it's true.
Well, it's also coming to reality that that is not a pure DNA. It's almost like when we even speak in terms of ma'at, order. Let's talk about natural order. Even the body, you think of like everything as above, so below, in a micro and a macrocosmo type of ideology. The body's a natural force, the planet, all these things. When you leave something alone, it's going to do what it naturally supposed to do. When you get in the way of natural order, what's going to happen? It's always going to continue to try to repair itself to its natural state. So anything that is not of what's supposed to be is going to always trying to fix itself to what it is supposed to be, to whatever its natural state is supposed to be. So that fear of other watered down races kind of diminishing, it's a fair fear. Would you say it is a fair fear?
Yes.
Because in our era, all we know is black, white, whatever your so-called race is. But not realizing all this time, all these thousands of years, it's been trying to repair itself. So if the DNA of Homo sapiens in Africans is 100%, what's going to happen? Eventually, it's going to try to get back to that natural state.
Very much. Very much. So and it brings into mind that when we look at the fact that they say that the natural, let me go. It says the unique original gene is called the Eve gene, and is only found in the African woman. So what you're seeing now, more and more, you're seeing the so-called, that, like, understanding that white is a construct, and it's a construct of the races. They're trying to unite with the African woman.
Of course.
And so more and more, they're knowing that they're more and more they're attracting to African women, because they know that their race is really becoming extinct.
Absolutely. Yeah, extinct. And by uniting with the African woman, you can continue the water down.
That's right.
You can continue to dilute that DNA further and further. You know what I mean? And that is why, I love the way technology has evolved, because all of the things that many people have swept under the rug, many of the powers that be, scholars that knew this information, even in some of their studies, you can see that it's undeniable. Does it disgust them? You can clearly see that in some of their texts too. But it's undeniable. I mean, these women were like, I did not come from a black woman, from an African woman.
Right.
But there was no denying it. You know what I mean?
There's no receipts.
So
they have no proof.
That's right. And when she expected Chat GPT or Google to be in her favor, and it wasn't,
I know, right?
She did digress. She digressed, but at the
Very
same
much.
time, it's amazing how we have fought so hard to, so to speak, as Western African Americans here in the Americas and all of these unattached places that we've become so it's so many in. We have fought so hard for the concept of know yourself.
Right.
No other human in existence has fought to understand themselves as harder than an African descendant.
That's true.
Like
we just came out of a reading from, it said spirituality before religion. Says spirit, like you said, spirituality is unseen science, and science is seen spirituality.
Seen spirituality. Mm-hmm.
That's right.
Mm-hmm.
So
and the concept from there too, that know theirself. If you
right.
look around and there's no true historical evidence that even reveals the fact that there are that many, that there's a race, so to speak, of people that search for themselves as hard as we do.
Very much.
But you lift a stone and you'll find it. When you're looking for netter, or the word, God, when you're searching, you will find yourself.
Definitely.
Because that's ultimately who you're searching for.
So true. So true.
It's exciting, though. It's exciting. I know for the elders who paved the way for us, it was strenuous and it was, tiresome, and they were weary and they carried heavy loads. And then after doing all the work that they did and bringing the information, some of us didn't even want to hear it. We were too comfortable not knowing. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But it's so joyful to realize that a being so oppressed is so special, which is what we are. The first ones, the shining ones, not just because we believe it and we are Black folks, but the unseen, the seen spirituality, which is the unseen science, like you just said, and you know what I mean? It's coming into light. We're seeing it. And it makes the burden much lighter for the efforts that all of our four ancestors have had to undergo for us to get here. We get a better understanding as why it has been the way it is, even why the so-called race was intended to be annihilated.
All the things that we have been told, now we know that the truth is coming. We're talking about millions, 500 millions of years, and now the truth is coming forth, being revealed. And the fact that those people that brought forth the lies, they can't hide it anymore. The truth is slowly but surely coming forth.
That's right. I mean, it's undeniable, and which is another reason why it's important we utilize the texts of lies as well, because those are our tools to investigate.
Very much.
Just like we all in the Kemetic community, we go back and forth with whose scripts we're using, like Budge and Wallace and different things. Wallace, Budge, and Gardner, and then we have other scripts. Well, of course that some of their scripts are going to be debunked, but that's the whole point of it. We are the investigators now, decoding and able to decipher what, what I mean, the real from what wasn't. And anything that makes us look divine is going to look,
right. And understanding the ancestors. We are the answers that we have prayed for and hoped for, and we have come about. Right. It's definitely
all of the questions that we've ever asked as a Black human being, an African descendant, however you want to look at it, a person of melanin, a person with that DNA that runs in us. Every question, we are the answer, just like you said. You know why? Because we took the next step to look for that answer.
No doubt. No.
So that is the answer.
That's true.
They're there. All we had to do is lift a stone.
Definitely.
So imagine thousands from years now what it will be for our generations to come that we will never meet. And they'll be venerating us just because of the work that we're doing, just like we're venerating those who came before us.
Very much, very much. So true.
It's exciting. It's exciting. It feels, when Baba passed away, it was kind of, I'm sure a lot of us, but I was kind of in a fog, like, wow, what's going to happen next? It's almost like in your family when the elders pass away, the family reunions start to be slighter because the younger generations don't pick up the torches and do what they were raised to do, and they do different things. But it's starting to feel, because it made me feel like, wow, as the elders start to pass away, are we going to start to fail? Are we going to just start to disperse? But I don't see it. I think that too much has been done for us to turn back. And people are ambitious and they're ready. Even with him making his transition, has even prepared people more and are ready. They're excited. Not necessarily in the mindset of defensive and war so much anymore, but excited in the becoming. Being excited in the exposure of our divine selves. You know what I mean? We can walk upright and not have to. Soon it won't be a time that we have to fight against being divine. Soon it won't be battles. We won't walk down the street and see separation. You'll see another African, and whatever faith that they're following, it's still going to be another brother or sister, an uncle, a baba, a moot, whatever they are, whatever their walk is. You will walk down the street and see no division. We won't be claiming gang sets because we are returning to our natural state. So I digress. There, I definitely digress. It's always exciting.
It's been a wonderful conversation.
Absolutely, absolutely. So I think we do have some announcements that you and I talked about this morning. Let's see here. We didn't get any prayer requests this week. I do want to put out there that we did have a birthday. If I would have known this was a birthday, I think a day after our last session, we had one of our members, Sin Curtis. He had a birthday last week, so shout out to you. Happy solar return. Wishing you many more trips around your soul as Ra guides you. All right. This is Sunday. Tomorrow is the 6th of October, but there will be no monthly meeting tomorrow. In Tepe, there won't be a Kemetic Ascension as well today. And Tepe is moving, and we will be postponing the meeting until next Tuesday, which is going to be the 14th. There should be a post and an announcement that will be coming out. The When Wet and other Kemetic leaders in the community are going to be getting together this week to discuss the celebration ceremony for our beloved Dwa R Hrw. The proposed date is going to be December 6th at 7 o'clock. We will find out more information, which is another reason we're going to postpone our monthly meeting so that we can have more information in reference to that. We don't know the place, the location, but I'm sure it's going to be in New York. And the date, again, the proposed date is December 6th. So that will give us all some time to plan. And once we have those details, try to do what we can to, as a community, to be there, because it's going to be a Kemetic community celebration for the African community and all of the walks that Baba was a part of. It's going to be open to that. Let's see. Was there anything else as far as the announcement? I think that those were the two, right?
There's no Kemetic Ascension today because Kentucky is moving, right?
Moving, right. Okay. Okay, I think those were the things. Let me, before we begin in closing out things, I just want to take a look to see if there is any comments or anything. I do not like missing anything. The 11 comments. Let's see here. All right. So we had William Humphrey, our Jati from is that Arizona, right? Benu?
Yeah, from Phoenix.
Phoenix. Yes. Okay. We had Sinet Kazi Shep here. That's Oye there. We have DR Sin, DC, Sinisi, Nikah. Sin Curtis is here. Our Sinette Deloise, but I'm not going to call Sinette Della. I am not. I know her name is Takim, but I have her complete name. I screenshotted it so I don't mess it up, but I don't want to say it because I do not want to tear and disrespect her name. But she knows who I'm talking about. Yes. Okay. She asked which book. That was from Shabaka Stone, Sinette Della. It was page 116 out of what chapter was that, Hemnetter?
That was chapter 6.
Chapter 6. And it's the same author. What's his name? Kaba?
Yeah, Kaba Kamin.
Kaba Kameen. Okay. Let's see. Ooh, Sin Curtis. I wasn't telling that tale. I just said wishing you many more, but get it. He has 65 trips around Ra. That's right. Excellent. All right, let's see. Ooh, Sin Jason. I have one if anyone needs anything, offering bowls or libation, bottles, cups, I make them. I saw you doing your work, Sin Jason. I saw you out there doing on the potter's wheel. Definitely. I would love actually to get with you so that I could actually get a libation bowl. I use this copper one here. And when we lit the candles, and Jason, I do want to tell you, since I had that one, which I'm waiting for you to have another one. I had that one meeting with you, very educational. I have my, I'm in the wrong, my copper. I put water in here and I found some natron to make the salt water. So I poured that in there. I dipped my fingers in it, put it on my forehead, my mouth, and my heart, so that everything that I did this morning would be aligned in my eye. And I will close that altar down. Do for that teaching. That was absolutely wonderful. Yes, and Curtis said today's topic, explain why they act the way that they do toward us exactly. Yes. All right. Is there a set of books we should have for Sunday gathering? Sinette Della, we are going to, matter of fact, I think that now that this has been going on for quite some time, that is exactly what we are going to do. Because Hemnetta Waziri, he does read from specific context. I am going to get with him. We're going to get a list of the books. We do know for sure that spirituality before religions is one of them. We're going to get a list together. Matter of fact, we will have that for you guys and post it in the page once him and I talk, so that when we do these readings, everybody can follow along. And I will also put the electronic versions that I have on the screen. So that's a good idea. And that way we will not, as we're going along, we won't skip in and out of so many books, so that we can all follow along. And it's been the same author, which is great. So I've enjoyed that. Good idea, and I will do. Let's see. Anything else? I think that's it. So we're going to get ready for our closing out. And of course, you guys know, let me grab my scale here. Got my scale. Say the same thing every week, but I'm still going to show y'all my little feather that's now tan. Came from my initiation. I keep that in one, and my little, don't even know what it was from. It was from like a purse or something, a kid purse. And I'm like, that's going to be a good symbol. So I always keep them like that. And today, let's get this pulled back up. Today, I wanted to keep it simple because I do not recall if I mentioned this one before. So today is going to be propriety, which brings the reason why I picked propriety is because I state here respect and honor living elders, for their years have been long and they're now short. So act with respect in your speech, in your action, and give honor to sacred spaces and landmarks. So as we've been lighting the candle this every week, and honoring our ancestor, Baba Heru, I felt like propriety, and I think that's why it's important that we give him his honor, because many of us have gotten a lot of inspiration in some of the practices that we now do today because of him. And for those elders who are influential to us now, one of the things that I want to say about us honoring and respecting the elders, it's okay to let them know when they may be wrong, and you may, as a younger generation, found something newer that may, update their current teaching or way of thinking, but with respect and with honor. And I think that no matter what, we should always honor and respect our elders. Just as I wrote there, their days have been long and they're now short. And as we sit at their feet, it's okay to be smarter or wiser, but it's okay to be quiet too. It's okay to digress. And with respect, you can teach in another way without belittling our elders. And not that anybody's doing that. I just want people to keep that in mind, just to honor them, because their days have been long and they are now short. Those of us who maybe not myself so much anymore, the younger generation, I got grandkids, but just the younger folks, always give respect. When you're out in public and you see an elder walking up, hold the door for them without needing a thank you. It's not required, because you're not actually holding the door to receive a thank you. And this isn't limited to race. You could be holding the door for a racist. It has nothing to do with you. My aunt says do the right thing when nobody's looking. It has nothing to do with somebody else's thought process of you. If you're going to hold the door, I hold the door and do it unconsciously. And then you know how you might hold the door for somebody, they may be a ways away, and they'll start to run a little bit to try to hurry it up out of respect for you holding the door. I say, just walk. If I made the time to hold the door, then how long it takes you to get here isn't my concern if I was going to take the time to hold the door for you. You know what I mean? So it's just a basic concept of morality that you have to take those separations out of it. That's another person walking. If your concept, if my aunt got in you to say, open the door for me, you just open the door for them. A thank you is not required. You're already thanked because you did something that you should have done without thinking. So that's all I have to say today. Propriety. Do the right thing. Be an upstanding person without needing a pat on the back. That's what it's about. And that's how we continue to hold this legacy of my aunt. With that, I say Shem and Ma'at to all of you. Hemnetta, is there anything that you like? I'd like you to close this out today. I did enough talking.
You can say the Amasu and close out with the Amasu.
Okay. All right. I'm going to get it to read, because when it comes out, sometimes it just comes out not in the proper way. So
Right.
I'm going to read it. And as a practitioner, I want to be more aligned with what things actually say. I don't want to, for our scholars too, I want to give them the respect and be more proper with the words that I'm saying. So let us clear our minds and prepare for the closing. Amasu Impanater, Sauak. Stu Emitra Impanater, Aua, Taua, Maketipa Herura. Give yourself to the Most High. Keep yourself daily for the Netaru, and do it tomorrow just as you've done it today. To our winter. All right, guys, enjoy your Sunday. Remember, there's no Kemetic Ascension today. So get out, enjoy the sun, do something with your family, cook some food, watch some football, and have a great week, everybody. Much more to you all.
Mer.